Hey, welcome back, Modern Samurai audience. My name is Ken. You can find me all over social media as The Modern Samurai, THEMDRN Samurai. One of these days we'll do an intro complete with a theme and a logo and whatever, but for now you just get me talking about it, and I'll probably put a little blurb down on the screen here. In any case, it has been a while since we've had real conversations. You know, 2017 was an experiment and I was getting comfortable in front of the camera, and you can go back and watch those vlogs to get an idea of what we were trying to accomplish. And then the year ended and we sort of got to the end of that. And, you know, with the experiment over, I really wanted to look ahead and see what I wanted to do with this channel, if I wanted to keep trying to build an audience or whether I was going to be working on other projects and so on. And in the end, I realized that one of the things that was sort of keeping me from just jumping in and doing vlogs was I felt like I couldn't just jump in and do a vlog. So we're going to just be sort of still relaxing and talking together. But the things that I want to talk about, the things that I'm putting my attention into right now, are also the things that were some of the most popular topics I spoke about in 2017. So it turns out that, yeah, people like some of the gear stuff and they like kind of hearing about what I'm doing with my time and that sort of general vlog stuff. But the thing that really resonated with people, and the place where I feel like I have the most to say right now, is around personal philosophy or sort of micro philosophy. What I want to talk to you guys about, what I'm exploring and what I'm putting most of my mind to right now is you know, how do you relate to the world, and how do you relate to your own mind? How do you stay focused on the things that are important, ignore the things that aren't important, deal with adversity and keep a good attitude, generate the energy you need to overcome and achieve, but still stay calm and relaxed? I mean, these are, you know, these are the big questions. This is figuring out the right way to navigate the world we live in as a functional human being who can make things happen and be of value to yourself first and to the people around you as well. And I want to talk about that. I want to talk about that a lot more, and it's some of what you guys, and guys and girls, wanted me to talk about. So as we get back into the swing of me just sort of talking to you guys when I feel like I have something to say, what I want to do is start this out by not assigning you homework, but I want to sort of let you get a head start and jump in and maybe take in some of the same ideas that we're going to be talking about. Now, none of the ideas that we'll be exploring originated with any of the people I'm going to mention to you. Stoicism goes back, you know, to the ancient Greeks. Objectivism goes back to Ayn Rand and the 60s. These things are not brand new ideas, and there were incredibly smart people articulating them for almost all of enlightened human history. Not enlightenment with a capital E, but I mean once we were, you know, got done killing each other enough to be able to have societies that could support people who could think about what it meant to be thinking and human and functional. So I want you to go ahead and explore these. Now, I'm going to give you a couple of names and why I think these folks are important, and then you go ahead and go look them up on YouTube and watch and read some of that. We're going to be focused on modern day, Western, primarily American and Canadian thinkers today, and we will come back at a future time and talk about the Middle Eastern influences that mattered. We'll talk about the historical American figures, the ones that were writing and active philosophically around the time of the Revolution. We have many more people to talk about, but this is not a history lesson. We're going to be talking about ideas. Anyway, right now, the people that I want you to go and take a look at, go look up Jordan Peterson. Jordan Peterson, P-E-T-E-R-S-O-N. He's a philosopher, teacher, psychologist, therapist, operating out of Canada, born and raised in Canada, and he was came to prominence in the internet age because he took umbrage with the Canadian government attempting to mandate his speech in the name of tolerance. And there's a lot to unpack, as people would say there, but essentially I just want you to understand that he initially came to prominence not because he disagreed with the idea of treating people with respect and speaking to them respectfully and interpersonally, helping them get through their day. What he disliked was the idea of the government mandating speech. And that philosophical point that is a critical one, and it tells you a lot about the guy in question. But Jordan Peterson has so much to say on so many topics. He's written an incredible book on myth, just examining mythology through all of human history, the stories we tell each other, the role those stories play in the societies around, why humans need myth, how myth ties to the stories that you get from religion. He is not an atheist, so it's not a religious bashing book. It talks about these common themes, and that book is worth reading. And most importantly, 12 Rules for Life is absolutely on your must-read list this year. We are going to be breaking those things down and talking about them. But just the top of my list for the people for you to go read right now, Jordan Peterson. Go watch his lectures on YouTube. Go listen to his Q&A. Go read him. You're not going to agree with him on everything. You're not going to agree with him politically, maybe. You might not agree with his stance on religion or whatever, but this is a guy who deeply, deeply cares about thinking and has done an incredible amount of research on the process, how we think, why we think, and how we can do better. Absolutely worth a read. And then a gentleman named Yaron Brook, Y-A-R-O-N Brook. You should go read Yaron Brook's social media. Go watch some of his lectures, particularly on freedom and economics. Yaron, or Yaron, I might be mispronouncing it, is an objectivist, libertarian, and he is doing a better job than anyone in relating the concepts, the core concepts of real freedom and liberty, and why they are not an impediment to an organized society, why they're the only reasonable foundation for an organized society. If you've ever wondered why it is that some people like me feel that less government is more government, is better government, and even if you think you can use the government to achieve an end that you think is worthwhile, there's still a good reason not to use the government to achieve that end. He is articulating better than anyone else at the moment the libertarian, pro-freedom, pro-individual liberty viewpoint. And you should go and pay attention to him. By the way, once again, you might not agree with the politics that his philosophy takes him to, but you should pay attention to the way this guy thinks, how he's explaining himself, and why he feels the way he feels. Even if you disagree, you should know what you're disagreeing with. And I fear that many people have not given true liberty a fair intellectual shake. Then I want you to go pay attention to a guy named Dave Rubin, R-U-B-I-N. Now, Dave's an interesting guy. He was a leftist, activist, and media figure who has since moved to the center, moderate, maybe edging towards libertarian. And Dave is the most reasonable voice in media right now, in non-mainstream media. Dave Rubin has perfected the art of sitting down with people he might disagree with and having real conversations, not playing gotcha, not trying to squeeze out a soundbite, but he'll have an hour and 20-minute conversation, even with someone he disagrees with. He'll have guests on one side of a philosophical concept and on the other. He doesn't necessarily bring guests on to argue about issues, and that's what I love about him. He's not bringing somebody on to talk about gun control or bringing someone on to talk about abortion. He's bringing on someone so that he can explore the totality of that person's philosophy, political and personal and moral, and look at how that all fits together and why that brings him to the conclusions it brings that person to. And that is the easiest and best way to not reduce someone and just dismiss their thoughts and go, well, that guy's a racist or that guy's a communist. If you understand the totality of where it fits in their philosophy, you have a much better idea. And more than that, Dave is a great example of what it means to be able to have reasonable, rational, and intellectual conversations between well-meaning people on multiple sides of an issue. You absolutely should be paying attention to what Dave is doing, not only what he's doing and that he can do it, but the conversations and the guests themselves are incredible. We've only got two more. I want you to go pay attention to Ben Shapiro. Now, Ben is probably the most overtly conservative, like classically conservative figures in this list. Ben was a big Ted Cruz fan, that sort of thing. Ben is, the thing Ben is doing right now better than anyone else is articulating the concepts of hardline free speech and the dangers of it not, of not following that, of not letting people speak. And that's just, it's a truly critical conversation to be having. And Ben is one of the best people around to pay attention to have it. He's been on David Rubin's show. He's had conversations with the other guys. I mean, they're sort of forming this sort of new intellectual movement almost because they have conversations and they send traffic to each other. None of these guys agree. Yaron doesn't particularly think Jordan Peterson's right about almost anything. Dave Rubin has not taken a strong stance either way. Ben Shapiro, I think, probably doesn't particularly think Jordan Peterson's got everything together. And I know he's not happy with the fact that Yaron Brook is an atheist. I mean, I'm not listing these guys together because they agree. I'm listing these guys together because what they have in common is they can all think. And now, so sort of pack those guys together as a group of intellectual, current people that talk about freedom and ideas and philosophy, and you should be going and paying attention to these guys. Yes, there's a political component because it's impossible to talk about philosophy without talking about modern day applications of it, which lead you right into policies, which lead you right into politics. But I'm going to cut that list there because I want to stay away from the names of the people who are mostly doing political commentary. I have a short list of those people as well, and I'm going to be putting those over on Herd Watching for those of you who want to pay attention to politics. So anyway, what I think you should do right after this video is one, rejoice that I am back. We are going to be talking at least every week. I've got some new gear to show you. I'm going to be doing recordings whenever it crosses my mind to do it. We are going to be talking about success. We're going to be talking about ideas. We're going to be talking about philosophy. We're going to be doing all of that. I hope you find it motivating and interesting. And then go ahead when you're done rejoicing about that. Go fire up a Jordan Peterson video, go watch it, and then download something to your phone and listen to a couple of Dave Rubin conversations. Go see what Yaron has to say, and then, sort of top it all off with a little bit of Ben Shapiro. If you are a non-political person or don't want to get involved in politics, Ben Shapiro is probably the most political on that list. But even that, I think we're mostly talking about free speech concepts at the moment. Anyway, it's been good talking to you guys again. I hope you like the way this video looks. And we have so much going on in the next month. We have so much to talk about. We have so much coming. I'm in the middle of a couple of projects that I cannot wait to show you guys. Pay attention to my Instagram. I'm going to be posting there. Basically, I'm coming out of my shell in the sense that I now sort of know what I want to talk to you guys about, and that works for me. I hope you're having a great day. I hope you're enjoying yourself. Put a comment down below, whatever social media place you find this. Let me know if you're vlogging. Let me know what you have going on, and I will be more than happy to check your stuff out as well. Take it easy, everybody.